Have you ever wondered how the successful organization consistently deliver quality no matter the industry? Or how a single standard like ISO 9001 can apply to both manufacturing and service companies worldwide? In this video, we are going to take it down in a simple and practice way. Hi everyone, this is Albin. Welcome to our new podcast on the quality management system. Here, what you will learn in today's session that we will be starting with a quick introduction and then we'll walk through the evolution and the purpose of ISO 9001 standard. Next, I will cover the key concept that you must understand before the implementation. So I will introduce the ISO 9001 standard clause requirement. So in the clause 1 to 4, it's covered the structure, scope, definition, and the context of organization. In clause 5, leadership, 6, planning, 7, support, 8, operations, 9, performance evaluation, and 10, improvement. Hi guys, so don't worry about this. Through this series of podcasts that we will explain you the each clause by clause requirement and support you in implementing the ISO 9001 quality management system. So we will discuss the real impact of the implementing a quality management system, what it actually means for your organization. So make sure that you will be watching full podcast series. So now let's move on to the history of ISO 9001. ISO 9001 is a global standard of quality management system, but it didn't start the way it looks today. Back in 1987, there were actually three different standards: ISO 9001, ISO 9002, and ISO 9003. Each one applied to the different type of organization. So here's a quick question for you. Do you think all companies have the same requirement back then? No, they didn't. If the organization handled a design, you follow ISO 9001. If your organization didn't handle the design, you need ISO 9002. If you were only into the testing or inspection, you need to go through ISO 9003. Also, the structures was very different. It had 20 clause and everything was heavily focused on documentation. So don't worry guys, these were in 1987. So when it came the major shift in the year 2000, then came a major turning point in the year 2000. So this is important, don't miss this. ISO 9002 and ISO 9003 were completely removed. Only one standard remained, that is ISO 9001, and it became generic, meaning applicable to all the industries. At the same time, there was a big shift in thinking. Earlier, the focus was on the documentation and complaints. Now, the focus shifts to the process-based approach. So instead of asking, did you follow this procedure? The question became, did the process deliver result? So in the coming section that we will share more details about the process approach, but for this introductory session that we will just share the what it mean the process approach. So let's simply it will be like this. A process is nothing that input is converted to output through an activity. Every activity in your organization is a process. And if you control your process well, you get consistent result. So ISO 9001 started focusing on process performance, measurable result, continual improvement, and not just paperwork. Then coming to 2008 to 2015, there is a big change. In the 2008 revision had only minor update, but in 2015 another major transformation happened. Earlier everything was centered around the customer, but in 2015 the focus expanded into interested parties. Let me ask you, if customer the only one who impact your organization? Definitely not. Now ISO includes employees, suppliers, regulators, investors, society. All of them are considered stakeholders and their expectation matter. So we can come to the latest update. that is regarding climate change. Now, here is something very recent. In March 2024, a new amendment was introduced. Organizations are now expected to consider the climate change as part of their internal and external issue, interested parties, expectations. They show how ISO is evolving with a global challenge like sustainability. Now let's quickly go through the ISO, the quality management principle. So this is the foundation of ISO 9001. The standard is built on the quality management principle. Earlier there were 8 principles, but now there are 7. So it's merged. It is after the merging of overlapping ones in 2015. These principles guides how the strong QMS function. So now you understand the history and evolution of ISO 9001. So in the next part, we will dive into the key concept and then break down each clause in a practical way. Before we move on, drop a comment. Have you worked with ISO 9001 before, or you're just getting started? And don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more practical QMS insights. Thank you.